I'll see you on the other side, brother.
Benny. Benny.
He was right. Closer than you think.
Sam.
You know, I knew you'd come looking for me. After Sioux Falls, I suppose you had to.
What you did to them. What you did to Bobby. To Jody.
They tried to stop me. But I will not be stopped.
Sammy, listen to me. This is the demon blood. You have to fight it.
Why would I do that?
Sammy, please. Please. You gave that big-ass fang one hell of a haircut, my friend.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yep. You all right, Sammy?
Yeah, fine.
Well, lighten up a little, Sammy.
He's the only one who gets to call me that.
Okay. No offense meant.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. If you guys had to go back and start all the way from the beginning, which characters would you play if you couldn't play the Winchesters?
Ooh.
In the show?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure I understand this question properly.
For all 15 seasons.
If
like,
we
you
could go
have to
back and play any other character other than the ones that we play on Supernatural,
And you couldn't play each other.
and you can't play...
Correct.
Does it have to be a character that lasted for a long time? Because
No.
obviously, okay, it doesn't have to be?
No?
That's pretty funny. I really enjoyed the arc that Sterling was able to play as Gordon. It was really neat because he was doing what he thought was right. Yeah, yeah. A, he's amazing, but B, I love that he came from being sort of a rogue fellow hunter to having to turn on the brothers, and it's kind of like one of the characters that also got to play a different version of himself. And again, I just dug the dynamic of a good guy kind of gone wrong. And I feel like he's one of the only kind of villains, so to speak, on the show that didn't become hated. Like, why is everybody after the boys? What the hell? Because you know he had a great kind of vulnerable core to the situation that he was put in. So that would have been a fun arc. That'd been a fun arc that I would have liked to have played if it was like a show that was going on and I was an actor that wasn't already on the show.
You know who does that? Crazy people!
Just celebrating a little. Job well done.
Right. Well, decapitations aren't my idea of a good time, I guess.
Oh, come on, man. It's not like it was human. You gotta have a little more fun with your job.
See? That's what I've been trying to tell him. Could learn a thing or two from this guy.
Yeah, I bet I could. Look, I'm not gonna bring you guys down. I'm just gonna go back to the motel.
You sure?
Yeah.
I always thought that we've had some really great, well-written characters and amazing, talented performers that have portrayed them.
We've also had Misha on the show.
And we've also had Misha.
Thank you. I'm out, guys.
Jared Padalecki, ladies and gentlemen.
Jared Padalecki is a monster.
He just informed me that it was a pity rim shot, so so I'll still take it.
Is it? Maybe not. I think there's a lot to choose from. I think there's some really well written, and yeah, that was who I was going to say was Crowley. I think what Mark did was fantastic, and you know, one of the probably the main reason why that character lasted as long as it did. But there was so much good stuff that they wrote for Crowley. It would have been a lot of fun to play that character. So there you go. Thanks.
Thank you.
What is Crowley doing?
Stealing candy.
He's stealing candy.
You know, at least when Cass was human, he was a okay guy. Should have known Crowley would be a douche version.
Yes, that was fast. That was fast. That's fast. Still, that was faster. Just for those who can't see, there is a camera on a tripod and a camera around the neck.
Don't hate.
I'm not hating. I'm in awe. I am.
I'm multitasking. First of all, thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
And just FYI, there's a South Carolina.
What's there? Do not help him. Forgive me. What is the capital of South Carolina?
Columbia.
I said don't help him! I'm gonna go with Columbia. You're amazing. Nailed it. Is it Columbia?
It is Columbia.
It is. Yeah, I knew.
Charleston is more lovely.
Yes.
I'm from Charleston.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up north. The Great White North. That's Canada. That's Alaska.
Well, I'm Jessica, and
Jared, Jensen, JQ. Good to see you again.
yes. So my question is actually for both of you, but first, Jared, I want to personally thank you for how you portrayed Sam's relationship with Lucifer, because it always bothered me that they didn't do as good of a job as I thought they could have of addressing that. But your performance did, so thank you so much for caring about Sam.
Thank you.
So, my question is for both of you. One of the benefits of playing a character for so long is that you get to have lasting growth in your character. So what would you say is the lasting growth that you have seen in each of your characters?
Great question, Jessica. I will say something. Great question. So, what I'll say more. That's a great question. More than the lasting growth, I can, as Sam Winchester, I can show you 2 episodes that are almost polar opposites. You know, where Sam is behaving in such a way in this episode, and literally almost the exact opposite in the next episode, not the following, but a different episode. And so, who Jared tries to be, I can look back at things that have happened in my past or whatever, go like, I can beat myself up, or go, you know what, sometimes we behave out of character and take it for what it is and move forward and learn from what you've done, you know, like almost not beat yourself up for having, you know, yelled at somebody on the road. We're listening to a comedian who was like, if you say things to somebody in an elevator that you say on the road, like, you should die, you know, like it wouldn't really go. Not that I say that. Long story short, I've learned from Jared, as far as lasting growth, that's maybe Sam has learned the same thing. Maybe this is my way of kind of figuring out that Sam has learned the same thing, to forgive himself. And that mistakes happen, and as long as you're trying to do the best you can, then you should probably try as hard to forgive yourself. Because Sam has certainly done some things, Amelia, that made Jared sad, but I understood Sam was in a certain place, he was grieving, and it was part of his growth. So I think probably learning to forgive myself, Sam self. Himself. Charlatan.
You gotta get out of this dark place. You know, whatever's going on in your head.
Dean,
What?
you know what, honestly,
Yeah, how about honestly?
I know what Rowena is dealing with.
I think there's a lot of examples of growth throughout 13 seasons for both characters, for all 14. We haven't finished 14 yet.
We're in it, though.
Yeah, but we haven't finished it yet.
We're in it, though.
Agree to disagree. I would say for Dean, it would be motivation. His growth in finding a reason to fight. Early on, there was the motivation of finding Dad. Then once he lost his father, he kind of threw in the towel of wanting to continue this legacy. And it was the exact motivation he was using to recruit his brother to come along with him on this journey. And then I think once that prize went away of reuniting with his father and hunting as a team, I think the motivation kind of fell out. Over the years, we've seen that kind of motivation from both characters flip-flop and ebb and flow. But I think more recent seasons, we've seen Dean kind of come into his resolve of knowing that even though things may not go their way, or there might not be a prize at the end of this journey, it's the journey that is the motivating factor, and it's the continuing to fight and do what he thinks is right by himself and his brother. And I think that motivation has come with time and growth. So that would be one example. Yeah.
I believe in us, Dean. I believe in us.
Hey!
Why don't you believe in us too?
I do believe in us.
Okay, let's go over here with the first blade, yeah.
What is the biggest trait you'd say you share with your characters?
Say it again. The biggest trait that we share with our characters. He's
Awesome
young,
hair.
his hearing is going quick.
Like personality trait.
The one off the top of my head is Jared, am a researcher. Like if I get into something or excited about something, he always makes fun of me. Like I still read the instruction booklets to iPhones and stuff like that. He's like, what are you doing? Like, just figure it out. Just start using it. You know, you'll suss it out.
It's like the first thing I throw away.
Like, what are you doing? I want to read it. So I think I'm still kind of I want to learn all the nuts and bolts of something that I'm dealing with, no matter how kind of mundane it can seem.
So? What? You found anything? The Seal of Solomon?
Well, I've been digging through the lore, but so far, nothing.
Great, so we got Cass in Syria dodging bullets, trying to find fruit from the Tree of Life. We don't know where Lucifer is, so we can't get grace from an Archangel. And what's the last ingredient of this spell we're never gonna find?
Blood of a most holy man.
My daughter had a birthday. I'm busy if you just want to take the message. My daughter had a birthday recently, and her gift that we gave her was this one of those electric Jeeps. You know, you can get in, you got the pedal, yeah, you get in it wherever. But it was like a little car, and they don't come assembled for some reason.
That's awful.
Right? Like, here's the battery, and here's 72 parts. And of course, I didn't read the instructions.
I did.
And it took me, honestly, it took me 3 hours in the garage putting it together. And I mean, look, I've got power drills, I've got power tools, so it doesn't matter. But I do remember at one point I was like, well, I guess I'll just dig into my bag of screws and find something that holds it together. When you start using things that don't come with the with the said toy,
It's that, and also when
But it works great.
It's that, and when it's put together,
And the
there are
roll
like
bar stayed on.
7 extra pieces. You're like, huh? I guess my son Tom, he's 6, and he's starting to use. I think one of the main ages for Legos is like the 7 to 10, and it's like, okay, well, he's a smart kid, and so we got him some like Ninjago Legos or something, and he was up in his room making them. He runs down. He's like, Daddy, I want to show you what I made. And I was like, all right. And he's like, look, this is part of it. He shows me the little Lego man. I was like, cool. And I walk upstairs, and it looks really cool. It was like a little market with someone selling fruits and vegetables, and there was a police car. And he's like, and those are just extra pieces. I look over, and it's nothing big, nothing like foundational. It was little decorative, this and that, but I was like, you did good, kiddo. Those are just the extra pieces. Oh, I guess they didn't include the screw that's necessary.
Yeah, oh, that's weird. They forgot 7 screws. Good thing I've got some.
It's even better when it's just nails and a hammer. It's like, oh, this needs to stay
into
together.
plastic. Yeah. So I would say that's something I have in common with my character. One of many traits that I have in common with my character is no need for instruction manuals. I'll just force this square peg into the round hole. Yeah.
Thanks for watching Wayward Winchester. Subscribe for more awesome Wayward content. Till next time, as always, no chick flick moments.
300 channels and nothing's on. I am the trickster.